Hello, everybody. So, I'm going to talk about whether all religions point at the same truth. We looked at Buddhism and Advaita Vedanta a while back, and because of a recommendation by one of the subscribers, and I think maybe it would be good to look at a bit broader, because I've had a few comments from actually aggressive Christians, surprisingly. Yes. And recently, an aggressive Advaitin who was attacking, and there was lots of talk about terminology and whether words were anglicized. And yes, I don't know. Anyway, so from that, we're going to talk about whether all religions point to the same truth. Now, and there was years ago, I came across these ideas of perennialism, and from Aldous Huxley, the idea that all religions have the same basis, the same thing, and it's a really nice idea. And of course, I like many people think yes, that's true. That's definitely what's going on here. Forget all the wars, the conflict, that's all politics. That's all humans being evil, trying to use religion for their own political or gains or power or money or control and all of that. It's not really what religion is talking about. But then, unfortunately, I kind of read some stuff that I think was on Wikipedia that was saying that basically it doesn't hold out or hold up this idea that all religions, there's too many differences. Clearly and when people have mystical experiences, they come back, and all the mystical experiences they've had in Christianity is of Jesus. In other faiths, it's of their own gods. Now, I think that can be got around by saying that, well, okay, so if you have some extreme experience that you go beyond thought, beyond the conceptual thought and language, and you have direct experience with the divine, when you come back, it will try to be understood within your conceptual mind, to put it into words. And that's where it gets transformed. These powerful feelings of beings or whatever, it is turned into the stuff that you know about. You're not going to invent something completely out of your world. So if you're a Christian, you come back and you've always been told since you were a child that God is this, then that's how you come back and you try to describe this experience. Those are the words that come out. So that, I think, can be explained. Now, other things about one religion not being like another. This comes from the Advaitin, who was kind of putting lots of aggressive comments. He said Buddhism has nothing to do with Buddhism and Hinduism. He was defending those, putting those together, has nothing to do with Christianity. I think he was trying to annoy a Christian that had also put a comment previously. So now what I responded was, the thing I thought was, yes, okay, so there are differences, clearly. There's different food you have to eat, there's different things that you have to do, there's different beliefs, different ethics, different, there's lots of differences. But it's a bit like two artists. So you have Pablo Picasso, and you have somebody who lives on the other side of the world who wouldn't have had contact with Pablo Picasso. Maybe Frida Kahlo. So she's in Mexico, Pablo Picasso in Spain. They're both Spanish. Maybe they did have some kind of connection, but very different styles. Or we could pick a Renaissance artist, like, Leonardo da Vinci. And you'd say, well, he's got nothing to do with Picasso. You could say, oh, well, he's connected to Picasso somehow. And this is maybe what people would say, non-duality in Christianity, that actually came from maybe Neoplatonism, and Neoplatonism maybe had some contact with the Advaita Vedanta or something like that. You could work it out that way. But as far as I understand, this non-duality did develop in different places separately. So the Christian mystics are independent from the Advaitins, and these insights were discovered independently. Now that shows something. Now, but still they're very different. But we can say that, Picasso is not like Frida Kahlo. But it's still art. Oh, it's so different. It's so different. Yes, but it's still art. It's still the purpose, why that person did that, and the way it's supposed to connect to you, and the right reason why people want it in their lives is because it's art. Now, they're two completely different things. You look at a Picasso painting, and somebody might say, if they're from the Renaissance, this looks like a demon. It's clearly, and you say, no, it's a human. And you say, it doesn't look at all like a human. But they are trying to describe the same thing. It's a portrait of a person. So even though things can be fundamentally different, you could have a painting of a landscape and a painting of some fruit, or of a portrait, or of a seascape. And it's all art. There is something more fundamental here that goes beyond the superficial. And even though when you paint a landscape, maybe the green is very important, a certain type of green, may be very important and essential for that landscape. And you paint a portrait and you've got no green in the portrait. But you say, oh, but it's important, art needs green. Otherwise it's not true art. Well, no, art doesn't need green. We're working towards the same thing here, but things can be in different ways. And Sri Ramakrishna said this. He said that to an infinite reality, to infinite God, there are infinite paths, clearly. If something is infinite, then there are infinite ways to reach. And I would say that when Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, through me, you go to the Father, I think he was an incarnation of God. And I think he just basically meant go to God. And through this, like saying go through painting to art, that kind of thing, rather than actually being all this exclusion that we have throughout the world, throughout history, and apparently on YouTube too, on comments about this kind of multidisciplinary approach to spirituality that I'm interested in. So that's my 2 cents, as they say. Tell me what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.